Hi everybody, welcome to week 4, another snowy week ahead. I hope you're all staying warm and safe. So last week you guys submitted to me your outlines. I will spend this week going through your outlines and giving you feedback on them. This coming week, what you will be doing is actually, well, two different assignments, so to speak, and then a discussion board. You don't want to leave these assignments to the last minute. So you have another hypothetical feedback and future application. It's going to be just like the one you did with the Jordan Allen speech about the birds and the weaves. This time, it's going to be just a different speaker, and you're going to have the same questions to answer. So remember, try to, I know it can be hard sometimes for the areas of improvement, but remember, nobody gives a perfect speech. So you can't just say, I have nothing to say for areas of improvement. Find something they could have done better. All right, doesn't mean they did it badly, just they need to do it better. Make sure you have specific examples. So some of you lost points because you just said, she used her body language well. Okay, well, where did she use her body language well specifically? Okay, so make sure you have a specific example of a moment in the speech. If you do that, there's no reason why you shouldn't get full points on this. Then you have a speech critique, which is quite similar to the hypothetical feedback and future application. You're going to watch another speech, but within there is a question you guys will be asked. I'll show you guys. I have to look at it this way because I'm not a student, so I can't take the quiz. But it's going to say, name one step under each category in the checklist for informative speeches. You need to refer to this. Question 1 is going to take you a little bit of time to answer because there are a number of steps in the checklist. So if you leave this till like 11:45 p.m. on Sunday night, you're not going to get it done on time. The other questions won't take you nearly as long. They're actually quite short. But you do need to spend some time on question 1. There are some things in there, like for example, it will ask you, one of the things in the checklist for informative speeches is rehearsing. So obviously you weren't there for his rehearsal process, but can you see the evidence of it in his speech? How so? All right, so that's how you would approach the things. I think it asks, sorry guys, cat interference. I think it asks about, you like using an outline, for example. Can you see his outline? No. Can you see evidence of his outline in how his speech is going? That's the way you want to handle those kind of questions. Okay. So you have, yes, the hypothetical feedback and future application. You have the speech critique. And here we go. And then you have a discussion post, as you always do. If you're wondering why I have you doing both of these things, it's because when you guys take an online public speaking class, the thing you really miss out on the most is seeing other people speak. In a normal face-to-face public speaking class, you would see 24 other people speak because you'd be sitting there as each one goes. You don't get that opportunity here because the way we have to do the peer reviews is just too time consuming. I could never make you do 24 peer reviews times 4. There's no way. So I have you watch 2 other student speakers after you guys have spoken. And so this is kind of a way to pad out your experience because the majority of what you learn as a speaker is actually from watching other people. So if you're wondering, why do I make you do all this? That's why. Next week, you will actually be speaking. So I will be quick about getting your outline feedback to you so that you can start preparing. You will record your speeches, and remember, they need to be 5 to 7 minutes. For most people, the challenge is keeping it under 7 minutes, believe it or not, but you do need to keep it under 7 minutes. All right, you cannot ask your audience to sit through more than 7 minutes. So if when you're recording it, it's okay if you go over by a couple seconds, but if you're getting to like 7.5 minutes, then you probably need to find ways to cut information out to get your speech to be an acceptable length. Same thing is true, if the only way you can get to 5 minutes is by speaking ridiculously slowly, that's not a good idea. If your speech is, I mean, if it's a few seconds short of 5 minutes, that's not a big deal. If you're like at 4:30 or less, then that does become a problem. So, when you get your feedback for your outline, you really start to get down to now planning and rehearsing the next stages of your speech so that you can record it. Now, a word about when you record your speeches, and I'll mention this again next week. It's okay if your speech is not perfect, all right? If you trip over a word, do not re-record your speech. In real life, when people speak, they trip over their words and they don't get a redo. And I don't take points off because you tripped over a word. What I would take points off is if you handled it poorly, right? If you draw attention to the fact that you have made a mistake or you let it completely throw you off your course, then that would be an issue. But no, if you trip over a word, it's completely fine. All you have to do if you stumble over a word, and it's, let's say, well, if you stumble over a word, just pronounce it correctly and keep going. If you make a little bit of a mistake in how you're presenting the information, just kind of say, I'm sorry, let me try that again, say it, and keep moving on. Okay, so you shouldn't have to record your speech, 40,000 times and take hours and hours and hours to do it. Yeah, it should appear polished, but the polish should really come from the rehearsal. And your rehearsal process will go a lot faster if you're not trying to record your rehearsal process. Maybe once or twice for curiosity you can do it, but yeah, polished does not mean perfect. Okay, polished means I can tell you rehearsed and put some effort into it, not, it is the most flawless thing I've ever seen. All right. Okay, everybody, have a great week and take care. Bye.